Hello everybody, Chris with Night of Living Card Games, back again, Earthborne Rangering. In the last one, I managed to get the artisanal door locker up here at Orland's Vault, and managed to make my way to Branching Artery where I camped. So my goal now is to get the mycelial conclave, and then maybe back up here to the terminal artery. So, I think what I am going to do... I am not going to, as part of the setup, I could put out either my rebreather or the door locker, but since I'm already past it, I will need the door locker to get down. But the way things have been going, I don't know if I can get here, get the mission, and get there in time. So I think, well, let me take a look real quick. Where is that door locker? How many... There it is. It takes up one slot, so sure, we'll put it out there. It is a setup, so I can do it right after I get everything set up. We are in... Oops, gotta flip this over. We are in glitter rain for weather down here for another day. So I will get myself set up. Let's draw some cards here. 6, we get a quiet. Lambent's Rig, a Gauze Blade, another Gauze Blade, my Rebreather, and the Stout-Hearted Guardian. I'm definitely doing Stout-Hearted Guardian. I think I'm going to keep the Rebreather just for the icons. And I'm going to keep Quiet. And I think I am going to pitch these 3 and draw 3 more. So the Bravest Ranger, the Vaulting Rod, and a Dear Friend. Alright, so let's see here. At the Branching Artery, rival setup, go get the next feature and put it into play. Nope. Yes. Kinetic Transfer Pods. Alright, let me shuffle this up and I will read it. It is a feature, a machine, and a ruin. It has a presence of X, where X is equal to 3 minus the number of power tokens on this feature to a minimum of 0. So it is a presence 0. Okay. And I can move my Ranger token here. If I do, and there are more power than Ranger on it, I can move up to 2 locations away. However, I do not need to move 2 locations away. I just need to move 1. Alright, so we are going to spend... Oh, hang on a second. I always forget to do this. I do the setup ability, and then I forget I gotta start the turn, and I gotta draw. We've got a Rift in the Artery. Oh, this is the guy that that allowed me to get out of that really nasty situation last time. I crawled through the ductworks to get out of there. Okay. That's okay, though. So now, we will spend 2 Spirit to get my Stout-Hearted Guardian title out. And I am going to immediately try to traverse. I'm going to commit Rebreather and 2 Fitness. So I am a 4 versus a 2. This does fatigue me 2, though. So 4 versus 2. -1, I succeed with 3 progress, which is exactly what I need to get out of here. Alright, so Red Crest Challenge Effect. Nothing in the weather, nothing in the location, nothing here. So if this ruin has more Ranger tokens than power, nope. So nothing happens there. Alright, perfect. I think... what I'm going to do is I'm going to opt not to travel. Because, what is this guy? This guy is, if I draw a yellow sun, I discard 2 progress from a location. So, I am not going to be doing any more tests. However, I do want to... You know what? No. We're going to rest. And consequently, we are going to travel. we are going to travel down this fungal forest route to the mycelial conclave. So let me get that going, and I will be right back. All right, we have arrived at the mycelial conclave. The cavern before you is overgrown with mushrooms of all shapes and sizes, from delicate frilled growths creeping along the floor to towering specimens as tall as cedars. Many glow with vibrant luminescence, displaying a kaleidoscope of color. The smell of decay fills your nostrils, and drifting clouds of spores hang lazily in the air. Although the room is cloaked in silence, you can sense a presence here. It's as though the mushrooms themselves were watching you, a fungal quorum wordlessly discussing what, if anything, should be done with you. If you have not received the Spore Specimens mission, which I have not, continue reading. Beneath a mushroom the size of your childhood home, you spot the glow of a lambent's rig. You draw closer and find that it's Sirisana Mir, the ranger from the biological outpost south of Branch. You haven't seen her since the business with the Reclaimers. You see that she is hunched over a cloth that, when you get closer, you discovered is covered with what appears to be small clumps of dirt. She methodically picks at them. Sirisana looks up from her work. "Oh, hello," she says. "So good to see someone else this deep. What a tremendous opportunity this expedition is turning out to be, isn't it? I haven't seen so much unrecognizable animal feces in decades. Just look at it." She puts her hands on her hips, looks down at her handiwork, and smiles broadly. "You know," she says, "it's fortunate that you came along when you did. I'm so very busy, and since my apprentice Telia remained on the surface, I simply haven't had the time to do all the research down here that needs doing," she says. "My fellow ranger, I bestow upon you the honor of gathering spore samples from the multitude of mushrooms down here and testing their effects on some of the local flora and fauna. There's no telling what we might discover regarding their properties and uses." Without waiting for your agreement, Sirisana thrusts a curious device into your hand. You inspect it, noting a narrow vacuum tube connected to a rotating drum housing 6 individual glass vials. "Just point this device at the biosample and pull the lever," Sirisana explains. "The sample is drawn into the vial, and once inhaled by the collector, it creates a seal around the vial. Then just insert the vial into the applicator and squeeze to release the spores. It couldn't be simpler." Gain the Spore Specimens mission, put it into the mission area with the gathering side face up. Travel along the fungal forest paths to collect spore samples. Alright, let's go find this mission before we do anything else here. There we go. Spore Specimens. Alright, Spore Specimen missions here. Collect spores from the underground mushrooms to test on other flora and fauna. Response: when you travel, if you are not traveling on fungal forest terrain, flip this card. When a feature with the mycelial keyword comes into play, add 1 spore to it. Cards with spores gain the following test. Focus plus icon to collect the spores, to move spores up to your effort from this flora to the Spore Specimen mission. Has 2 challenge effects. Yellow Sun. If a path card has more than 1 spore, they spread. Distribute those spores to other active path cards as evenly as possible. And Blue Mountain effect. The spore clouds expands. Add 1 spore to each active path card with a spore. Let's take a look at the backside, shall we? Alright, test your collected spores on flora and fauna. Response: when you travel, if you're traveling on fungal forest terrain, flip this card. It's got a test on it. Awareness plus connect. Distribute the spores to search the general set for a spore cloud and attach it to a non-human being or flora. Move spores equal to your effort from this mission to the spore cloud. Have 3 or more path cards attached to this mission to complete it. Okay. Alright, I'm curious. I'm going to cheat a little bit. I'm going to look ahead. I want to see what the spore cloud is. Spore Cloud. So Spore Cloud is an attachment, and spores traded. Response: after you clear the attached card, attach it face down to the spore specimen mission. Response: when there are no spores on this attachment, discard it. And replace all challenge effects on the attached card with the following things. Okay. So basically we got to collect a bunch of spores. Then we need to travel someplace that is not on the fungal forest path. And then find them and clear them. Okay. Well, that is going to be interesting because let's see here. So I'm down here, going up either of these paths, taking me up the fungal forest, so that won't work to clear it. I suppose if I can get enough spores on there, I can come back up to the branching artery and then come across. Or I can come up here to the terminal artery directly and then try to go down and hope that I don't need to backtrack or go anywhere else. So, all right, this will be interesting. Right, but that was just on arrival. Now, the lead ranger searches the deck for the next flora and puts it into play. Nope, that's feature. That is not a flora. This one is, though. It's a trap mushroom. Feature flora, fungus traded, 2 presence, 3 harm, 4 connect, or 4, connect, because, it is not a being, so, progress threshold. It's got ambush and mycelial. Focus plus icon 2, lure other beings into the trap to exhaust this being to add 1 harm to any 1 flora. And then it has a Blue Mountain challenge effect. Okay. Well, first things first, it ambushes me. 1, 2. Alright, so, when a feature with the mycelial trait comes into play... Hang on. That was flora, so... Yeah, that is a flora and a feature. Actually, I just want to real quick make sure. Did I read that wrong? Was the first one... I don't even remember what the first one I had was. Oh, there it was. Oh, it was Selenox, which... Yeah, no, that is not flora. So, okay. Shuffle these up. Alright, so then when it comes in, add 1 spore to it. 1 spore. Okay, flip this over. We got the mycelial conclave. It is a 3 presence, 4 per ranger. Threshold to get out of here. Whew. Yellow Sun, discard 1 harm or 1 progress from an active flora. Okay, it's going to be tricky to get out of here. All right, we are on refresh. We pick ourselves up. I've got an intentions translator. Start of the round. Draw a new card. We've got a glowing mushroom. So he also comes out with a spore. I'm going to take a look at something real quick. I need to refresh my memory on what the mycelial keyword does. A card with the mycelial keyword gains the traits, keyword, and challenge effects of other cards in play with the mycelial keyword. If 2 or more cards with the mycelial have the same trait, keyword, or challenge effect, each card with the mycelial counts as having only 1 instance of it. So I guess they both have illumination, and I guess... I don't know if that means that this one triggers ambush as well. Because it would have been out before you know what? I'm gonna be nice to myself, and I'm gonna say it doesn't. I'm not sure if that's true or not, but if somebody knows in the comments, please let me know. All right, so my turn. Let us, first things first, let's spend a... Oh no, I can't do that yet. I gotta spend one. Let's get our vaulting rod down. Comes in with 2. Now we will spend 1 spirit to add a charge here. And heal of fatigue. I'm going to try one of these tests, focus plus that. So I am a 3 versus a 1. Plus 1, I succeed. So that goes there. Red crest. Nothing, nothing. Nothing on the mission. Nothing on these 2 guys. Okay. I'm going to try the test on the glowing mushroom. So awareness plus explore to discover the light. I can't read that far. I'm old. Discover that which the light reveals to add 1 progress to any 1 flora and move it. All right, so we are a 2 versus a 1. -1, I succeed. So I get to add progress to any 1 flora. I will do it to this one, and I am going to move it. Yellow Sun. Add 1 runoff to the card, and then we get fatigued. Right, discard 1 harm or progress from an active flora. Well, shoot. And nothing. Oh, here. Let's see here. If a path card has more than 1 spore, which it does not. Okay, well. I guess I'm going to end my turn here. Yeah, we're going to rest. And since I can't travel, we will refresh. Draw a card. Cordo's Instinct. Draw a new path card. It is the Gardener Spirit. Let me read about the Gardener Spirit. From somewhere in the gathered darkness, you hear someone humming a tune. It is not one you recognize, but it stirs something in you nonetheless, as if it was able to awaken an emotion long forgotten, despite its unfamiliar melody. For a moment, the humming seems to fill the room. Then you hear it just over your shoulder, coming your way. A woman in peculiar dress walks past you, carrying a tray of mushrooms in individual containers. You catch the scent of freshly turned earth and notice that while her body seems to glow with a faint white luminescence, it has a certain solidity to it. She gestures toward a raised garden overrun with a wide variety of mushrooms, as if to say, follow. Clear the spirit with progress to follow. So the Gardener Spirit is a 2 presence, 4 per ranger, progress threshold, friendly and spirit, and can't take harm. It has a test, fit plus connect, 2. Tend to the mushrooms alongside the spirit to add progress to a fauna equal to your effort. If this clears the flora, when you discard it, move all progress from it to this being. Oh, that's handy. Okay. All right, my turn. Well, why don't I try to do that? I am going to do I'm going to commit a dear friend and 2 fitness. So that is a 3 versus a 2. And I fail. Thank you, -2. All right, yellow sun. So you add a runoff here. Get fatigued. We can't discard anything from it. Nothing. Here, path card does not have more than 1 spore. Here, discard 1 harm from an active flora. So nothing there. Well, that was unfortunate. All right, let us exhaust ourselves. We will spend a awareness energy to add 1 token here, and then cover this expedition logbook. Let's try to do that. So we are going to commit a Cordo's Instinct. So we're a 3 versus a 1. -1, I succeed, so this comes over here. I get 2 on. And yellow sun, this fatigues me again. Oof. All right, let's try to connect to the Gardener Spirit. 3 versus 2. 0, I succeed with a total of 3 effort. And this fatigues me again. I do not have luck with Glitter Rain. I draw so many yellow suns with the Glitter Rain. It is not even funny. Right, that is all I can do, so I am going to rest and move on to refresh. Draw a card into another Cordo's Instinct. And we get a progenitor mushroom. Interesting. It is a feature, flora and fungus. Has a campaign entry too. It is a 3 presence, 4 per ranger damage threshold, 5 per ranger progress threshold. Mycelial traded. In response, after a flora is cleared, move all progress and harm from it to this feature. Then search the path deck and discard for the next flora and put it into play. It has a test. Awareness plus icon 2. Grab a handful of the ancient fungus and cautiously eat it to add 1 damage to a flora. Then draw 1 ranger card for every 2 effort. Okay. All right, what does it say here? The towering mushroom looming over you seems so large that, at first, you think it's some sort of sculpture or artificial creation of the Estians. But no, its dry, leathery skin sinks slightly under your fingers, and the faint bioluminescent glow within pulses like a faint heartbeat. The surface is as wrinkled and thick as an oak tree, and you assume it must be truly ancient. On an impulse, you thump the stalk of the mushroom with your fist. A pulse of neon light radiates out from the impact, running up and down the mushroom, then into the twisting mycelial network beneath your feet. As you watch the ripples reverberate on other mushrooms all around you, you realize that anything done to these progenitors would have lasting consequences to the entire network. Ugh. All right then. Oh, and it is, let me just make sure, yes, it is flora traded. So it comes in with that. All right, let's try this fitness test again. 2 versus 1. I succeed. All right, so what happens here? Or actually, it was 2 versus 2. I still succeed. 10 the mushrooms alongside the spirit. Add progress to a flora equal to your effort. If this clears the flora, okay. I am going to put it on this guy because... All right, now we get a blue mountain. Let's see. What is the blue mountain? All areas count as illuminated. Oh, I guess I got to check here. The spore shroud expands. Add one spore to each active path card with a spore. So this guy gets a second spore. Right, this one is if there's an active prey, there is not. This one is if there's an active prey, there is not. Move this being to another area with a flora. So this one moves over in this area. The gardener spirit is going to check on those other mushrooms. All right, we are going to try the glowing mushroom test. So 2 versus 1. Failed with a yellow sun. On the bright side, Glitterain has flipped over, so at least for a few turns, I won't be exhausted. However, I now need to remove a progress or a harm from an active flora. And this is my only one. And if a path card has more than one spore, which it does, so we got to spread it out evenly. Let's do you, and let's do one up to the glowing mushrooms. Oy vey. Let's try to gather that spore that's up there, 1 to 1, after I shuffle. I am sick to death of those yellow suns and their -2s on these tests. Let me tell you. All right, so 1 to 1. +1, I succeed, so we get our 3rd spore collected. Red crest, there are no red crests. Okay. I will do this, spend a spirit, add something here, cover, it is a copy of Quiet. And that's all I can do. I don't want to connect with them because I don't necessarily want to clear them out yet, because I really want to use this to clear the progenitor. All right. Draw a card into follow in footsteps. Oh, that could be really handy. But let's see what this is first. Oh, we've got a moment of the path card. Slippery footing. The slick ground before you starts to slope, gradually at first, but then suddenly steep. You lose your footing and land uncomfortably on your backside. It starts sliding downward. If you see this path card while scouting, I did not. So fitness plus icon 2. Catch a handhold on the rock to add 1 progress to the location and discard this card. If you fail, move all cards within reach to along the way and suffer an injury. Well, I don't really want that. So I guess we're going to chance it. We're going to use 1 copy of Quiet and 1 fitness. So I'm a 3 versus a 2. I succeed. Okay. So I get to add 1 progress to the location and discard this card. All right, Yellow Sun now. This says, move 1 feature or being and discard runoff equal to its presence. If there are no remaining runoff, flip this card. I'm going to choose to move the spirit back to me, which takes 2 runoffs. If there is a card with more than 1 spore, nope, nothing. Discard 1 harm from an active flora. Nothing there. Okay. All right, we're good. We are going to use this, and we will spend the focus to add 1 here. Actually, we're not. Hang on a second. Yeah, I think, okay, so we're going to do this, but we're not going to spend our focus. We're going to spend an awareness to get that, which I already did. Bold, that's nice. All right, I'm going to spend my focus. Oh, but if I... Yeah, I think I got to do it. I'm going to get an intentions translator down. Oh, that's what... I swear I had the Bravest Ranger in my hand at one point, and it ended up down there. So we're kicking out my door opener to get the intentions translator down, because I don't think I'm going to be able to... I don't think I'm going to be able to get out. So anyway, so now what we are going to do is we are going to try to connect with the gardener spirit. We're going to commit one from the intentions translator, so we're at 4. We are going to commit Cordo's instinct to be a 5. So we are a 5 versus a 2. 0, I succeed with 5 effort. So that takes me up to 8 there, which will clear it. However, before that happens, I'm going to spend 1 fitness to do follow in footsteps. After you succeeded a connect test, add progress to a feature equal to your effort. So I get to add 5 progress here, which now clears this big boy. So let me do the clear effect on the progenitor mushroom first. You move carefully past the giant fungi, ensuring that each of your steps avoids the twisted mycelial knots that run across the cavern beneath your feet. Best to leave these ancient mushrooms be. Attach a progenitor mushroom face down to the location as a reminder. The next time you travel, the lead ranger searches for the next 2 flora and puts them into play during arrival setup. All right, I promise you I will forget that. All right, now this... We cleared that one with progress, so... All right, you watch quietly as the spirit goes about her work. With reverence, she takes mushrooms from the tray one by one and places them gently in the planter. It's as though you can see what she sees, this chamber as it was over 1,000 years ago, while at the same time seeing it as it is now, disused, encrusted with sediment, and overgrown. She speaks, but in a language that you do not understand. You're able to pick up familiar sounds and letter combinations, but are unable to make any sense of it. She looks at you with pleading eyes, then abruptly touches her index finger to the center of your forehead. In your mind's eye, you see a vast chamber bathed in warm light. Massive white trees fill the space. You get a strong feeling that she wants you to accompany her there. I have to choose. Either accompany the spirit to discard all progress from the gardener spirit and attach the mission helping hand to her. Travel to the Arboretum of Memory and clear the gardener spirit with progress while new growth is in play. Or perhaps another time, discard the gardener spirit, place 1 progress on each floor in play. Yeah, I will help her. I need to get my helping hand mission out. Helping hand. All right, so I am now helping this spirit, and I need to get to the Arboretum of Memory, which I'm assuming is, yep, it is down here. So this is ideally the path that I will go. I don't know how I get the new growth mission, but I'll try it. All right, so all that was from that. So now we still got to do the challenge effect. Yellow sun. We'll move. We'll move this guy. Do that. I don't have progress or harm on a flora, so that's good. And then yellow sun is discard one from active flora. There aren't any, and there's nothing there. Okay. So I am going to end my turn. And I can't travel, so we're into the refresh phase. Draw a card. It is a Gauze Blade. And now draw a card. It is Selenok Switchback. It is a feature layer and trail. It has 1 progress, 3 per ranger harm, 6 progress threshold. And I can do a focus plus explore 2 test to discern the trail formed by the Great Slug's passage through the fungal forest to move my ranger token to this feature. And response, before your turn, if your ranger token is on this feature, you may add 1 progress to it to cause all the cards to lose the mycelial keyword until the end of your turn. All right, that is that. I think. All right, what we're going to do here is we are going to spend a focus. Add, because. Oh, yeah, this is an aid, so I will add 1 there to heal up. Oh, perfect. Okay. So we are going to choose to travel. We're going to commit a bold. We're going to commit a logbook. And that. So that is a 5 versus a 3. And I will suffer 4 fatigue from this. All right, so 1, 2, 3, and 4. My day is almost over, so I am going to lose out on these spores I collected. Oh well. All right, so because of that, instead, I'm going to do both bolds and that. So I'm a 6 versus a 3. So this should guarantee that I'll get out of here. -1, 5 total progress. So I get to do that. Blue Mountain, nothing here. Add 1 spore to each active path card with a spore. There are none. Okay, here, if there's an active prey, there is not. If there is an active prey, there is not. Exhaust this feature to search the deck for the next being and put it into play. Then add 1 progress to this feature. Okay. So let's find the next being. No. Yes. The Burden Archelon. Enters play. Search the path deck and discard pile for the next flora and attach it face up to this predator. Okay. Nope, that is not a flora. That is a flora, though. So real quick, the Burden Archelon is a being, predator, and reptile. It is a giant, scary-looking turtle with a bunch of fungus on its back. 3 presence, 8 harm, 6 connect threshold, and... all right. That is that. All right, and we are going to end our turn, and we are going to choose to travel. we are going to travel up to the branching artery through the fungal forest. The reason doing is because next turn, then hopefully I can get my 3 spores and quickly, and then come here to the terminal artery, not through a fungal forest, so I can actually accomplish the mission. So I will just travel and camp that way, and I will continue to... Oh, no, and I do lose out on the Gardener Spirit, because Helping Hand, if you don't complete it that day, they go away. So, oh well. Sorry, Gardener Spirit, I tried my best. But there we have it. We ended our day and didn't make great progress, but we at least got the mission we needed. And hopefully tomorrow and the next day our next game day, we can quickly get the spores, then travel and do the stuff we need to for it so we can get out of here. So, all right. As always, if you made it this far, thank you so much. I do appreciate you watching. I will be back again soon for another game, and in a little over a week, I will be heading up to Con of the North to play Incandescent Skies, the multiplayer game that Earthborne Games is going to be running up at Minneapolis. And so I will get to try that out and be around a whole bunch of other Earthborne Rangers players, and should be a lot of fun. So I will try to take pictures and video while I'm out there, but I'll sure to give you my thoughts on it once I get back from it. So until then, folks, I hope you all have a great night.